Hello, everybody. This is David from Forex Empire, and I'll be doing Wednesday weekly webinars. So basically, midweek reversal on Wednesday. That's what we're trying to catch. So we'll see what we can catch today. And moving forward, we're gonna start from AUD USD, just as always. And basically, what we've seen here, and most of them are swing trades, no day trades. All right. Because I have to work on that a little bit more, but swing trades are more easy and more pips, so I focus on swing. So as we've seen in the past, I mean, most of them might not understand what this is, but as you can see here, that the price has created the support and resistance right here and right here, and these are trend lines. So some of them might know what these are, but some of you traders don't know, but I'm just trying to explain you what these are. And the boxes are basically levels, but that's a market maker. It's separate than technicals, but I'm not gonna get into deep into it. I'm just gonna go just go through some pairs really quick, and then all that. All right. So, but if you have if you want to learn anything, just go to my website right here, forexempire.net. You can learn everything that I offer. All right, so moving forward, AUD USD. What we've seen in the past is basically the price created the nice M formation right at over here. Previously, it created the W also, and pretty much this chart has been giving us a nice setups for a while. I mean, continuation setups. Basically, M level 1, level 2, W level 1, level 2, M level 1, level 2, W level 1, level 2, M level 1, level 2. Now it's forming a W, then you're going to see a level 1, level 2, and an M formation. It's just a continuation of the same pattern over and over again. Remember that. With technicals, you might not find that. With market maker, you do. But I implement technicals because that was my background where I started with, but market maker is what I trade now, and I basically see a good results off of it. So moving forward, if you look at zoom in over here, right about there, we only need like one wave. So basically what you see here is a nice W with a nice divergence. And then at the same time, you can see the breakout with an impulse and a nice consolidation that took half a week. And then you can start seeing the market just shifted this momentum to the bullish side. And then after that, it's consolidated again and created the level 2. Now you can see the break happened right about there, and the price just shifted up again and created the first leg of an M and then the second leg of an M at the resistance zone. Remember that. It respected the resistance zone and just drop it down. We pretty much sold all this, like all of this is marked. We basically bought and sold at the same time. So as you can see that the price rejected from this point and pretty much right about here or somewhere we sold it. Nice drop for a few months and then caught a lot of pips right about. Even at the breakout, you can see that was a 550 pips take profit. So zero drawdown, put your stop loss above the resistance, and then you're good to go. That was a technical point of view. There was a trend line breakout, price shifted, and that's it. And create the waves, lower lows, higher highs. That's all you need to know, right? So the price just basically came down all the way at the support. Now it's basically created the level 1, created the level 2. Now it created the W formation, but at the same time, it has to do a stop hunt. Right? Market maker has to do a stop hunt. What does a technical trader do? They buy at the low, sell at the high, right? If you were a seller, that was good. You made it. But if you was a buyer here, you got stopped out because you put your stop loss right about here. But the market makers know that you put your stop loss here and they come and hit you. And that's why you can see that the stop hunt, the second leg is a stop hunt always. And you can see that it just pushes up and then rejects back up. So what we've seen here, we entered here, but we gave us enough stop loss, basically enough pips to move, and you can see that the market only moved 85 pips, and then the 100 pips stop loss was 1% risk. Now, if you're looking at it, what is the market is doing? It's creating an inverted head and shoulder if you look at it, technical point of view. But for me, it's a W formation with a nice divergence. So what I expect here is basically the price continuation, a break, and a nice consolidation, and then the break and the continuation to the upside. So hopefully I went too slow on you guys, but if it's too fast, it's going to be recorded and it's going to be published on my YouTube channel, so you can go back, and there's a lot of more videos based on this training. So it's just a warm up. I mean, you have to understand the concept behind it before you even trade it. So just a market maker method. So what we see here on the AUD USD is basically a nice pullback and break of this resistance right about here. And I expect that the price might go back to the 200 EMA, reject that, retest this neckline, and then continuation to the 61.8 retracement. And that's right about here, right about there. So we might see our take profit one right about there, but market maker is basically, I'm expecting a nice take profit here, or I'm just gonna count the levels and see where it ends up. It can be 61.8, it can be much more higher. So let's see how it goes, okay? All right, next would be AUD CAD. All right, AUD CAD is the same situation. Basically, I don't wanna go back all the way here, but there's more charts already marked up. But as you can see here on a 4-hour time frame, nice W formation, right? Create the support, price pulled back up, break the trend line. You can see that trend line, the black one, right here, did a nice retest, pulled up again, created the higher high, but failed to break the low. That basically gave us a nice second level. That's how I basically mark up the higher highs and the lower lows, higher highs and the lower lows. And if you mark it up, like it right here, you guys can see that the higher highs and lower lows are made pretty neat. All right, now what we've seen here is price got rejected at the 78.6. If you go on a daily time frame, you can see that the price just went up there, created the M, and then rejected. But it doesn't have to go to this resistance, because a lot of times technical traders, they're buying in, they're holding their take profit at the resistance, but a lot of times it doesn't go. It only sometimes it rejects from the fib levels. But you have to count your levels so you know where you are in the cycle. It doesn't have to be fib level, it doesn't have to be resistance, but it's just an extra confirmation for us. So if you look at it here, what have we seen? 78.6 got that's the first leg of an M. That's the second leg. That's a break, that's a stop hunt. The stop hunt was approximately right about 106 pips. That was a stop hunt. Straight up, 106 pips. That was a stop hunt. This many pips was moved just to do a stop hunt. Now the price rejected from that point, created the newer high, and then the price continuation to the downside. Now it break the support, create the level 1, break the support again, right about there, create the level 2. Now it broke another impulse, create the first leg of the W, right? First leg of a W. Now it has to come back, break this low just to do a stop hunt. And right here, you can see that the price did the stop hunt again, right about 43 pips stop hunt. 43 pips stop hunt. And you can see that the price went a little bit lower than the support just to do enough stop hunt. That's what it is. And you can see the engulfing candle right after that, boom, just went up, straight up. What do you expect now? It's a simple answer. Right about here, trend line, draw that trend line right there, easy peasy. And you can see that it hasn't broken yet, but I already know it's gonna break through, it's just gonna shoot up. And AUD CAD will be a nice take profit of 650 pips. But all you gotta do is have patience and just hold it, and then only risk what you can afford to lose. That's 1%, 2% risk on your account. Don't be doing stupid lots and losing your account, but just letting you guys know. But it's an overall swing, 650 pips, but entry is right there. The peak entries, right? You know where the market is gonna reject to, and you just basically end up buying it without double thinking yourself, right? Now, what do we expect here? A nice breakout and then continuation. So we're just going to be holding this trade for a while and see how it goes from there. All right. Next would be AUD CHF. Okay, so AUD CHF is on a bigger time frame. As you can see on a daily time frame, it's a nice structure. W level 1, level 2, and an M formation, level 1, level 2. It's probably not going to be the clean market maker structure, but a lot of times it can give you on a 4-hour daily. It can give you on an hour chart, 30-minute, 15 minutes. All about to train your eyes to find the patterns. Just like the way in technicals you train your eyes to find the head and shoulders, wedge formation, just like that. You have to train your eyes to find the M's and the W's and the level 1s and the level 2s, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So what we see here is basically a nice W level 1, level 2, a nice M formation. As you can see that the price created the lower low, created the lower high, dropped it down again, created the lower low, lower high, and at the 61.8 retracement, you can see the price rejected previously, but yet it has to come back up again and basically trying to do a stop on a little bit right there, and then most likely going to continue to go down. But we'll see how it really plays out. But overall, what my prediction is, if it does drop, it's going to be a nice pips. That's going to be around, I'm not sure how many pips that is. 1 to 3, stop. 320 pips, take profit. So not that big of a deal, but we'll see how that plays out. All right. Next is AUD JPY. All right. So AUD JPY kind of played out really tricky, but at the same time, it played out in our favor, and we kind of predicted it from where it was going to go. And you can see that previously the market created the W level 1, level 2, and a nice M formation at the 78.6, and then breakout, retest, boom, just dropped, tanked, take profit, hit. Now, what you're looking at now is the price continuing to go down even more, create the level 1, create the level 2. Now you can see that the W has formed here with a nice divergence, and you just mark that up as a support. Now, the price break through the resistance of the W, it went back up to the 38.2 and then rejected from there, and then went all the way back to the 78.6. You can see that, and it created the hammer. And we basically held it from here. I just hold it. I just don't stack trades, even though I know for a fact it might go up from here. I'm not gonna stack trades. That's one thing I don't do. One trade, one take profit, and one stop loss. That's it. That's the real count. Partial take profit doesn't count. I'm gonna tell you that, because partials, stop loss is bigger. Partials are stop. I mean, I don't know. It's different, but one take profit, one stop loss, and that's it. 1 to 3 risk reward. So what are we seeing here? The price came back down, hit the 78.6. Now it's rejecting, and now it's just straight up bullish. I'm gonna predict that the price will continue to break this zone. That's the minor resistance right about there, and I expect the price to break through, create the second level and the third level M formation, and then go from there. But overall, I see a nice pull to the upside on AUD JPY. All right, next would be AUD NZD. All right, AUD NZD, very interesting trade. So right about there, we created the peak. Let me go on a daily time frame. Probably gonna see a little bit clean. All right, now you can see the W level 1, level 2, and a nice peak formation. This one is a hard trade, but we haven't traded. We don't trade A tops. We only trade M's. So we waited for the price to drop all the way till here to the 78.6, and then we continued to buy based on a nice support, you can call it, but mostly 78.6 and the pattern completion. So what we basically went ahead and basically made us call on a buy, and you can see that what the price did pretty much just took off, create the level 1 right about there, price broke through, and then just its continuation to the upside. Now the price, you can see that it's going on a sideways moments. That's basically considered as level 2, but it needs maybe it is a level 1, but maybe it can be level 2, but we'll see. We'll see. Right now, it's not big enough for me to judge. It has to be like probably a week or so long the consolidation for me to count for a level, because on smaller time frame it's 1 day, 1 day of consolidation, but with 4-hour time frame it's 1 week of consolidation. So remember that. It's a small tip that I gave you guys. But right now currently the price is nicely in profit, around 373 pips in profit, so that's good. We have our stop loss at break even, and I'm going to continue to hold. So we'll go from there how that plays out. But right now let's go on Euro CHF. All right, basically what we predicted here, that was a nice W, and then level 1, level 2, and a nice M formation was forming right about there. I expected the price to break out, this is the base, and the second leg I was expecting the price to go up a little bit higher and then make a sell probably at this zone. But the price didn't go back up and then just shifted to the downside. No big deal, no hard feelings, but it hasn't gave us the opportunity to enter, so we're not gonna chase the trade and enter it just because the price is dropping. We wait for the setup to form, we wait for the right moment. If the price had came here, right about there, I would have sold it, but the price didn't, and I'm not gonna sell it because it's not a valid trade. So just remember guys, anything that you trade has to have a valid reason for it to trade, and at least 3 confirmation before you make a sell, make a buy. Anything you do needs to have a 3 confirmations at least. That's a minimum. All right, next would be Euro CAD. All right, Euro CAD. Wow. All right, basically we made a sell. That was a V bottom, level 1, level 2, and a nice M formation. And you can see that the price created nice level 1 right here after the break of the support. It created the lower low. Now it created another second level, and now you can see how I predicted this even happened. The price was here. I predicted that the price will drop and then continue to go back up. So what we see here is at the 78.6 and a nice, you can see that there's a nice divergence also. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this trade. Right now it's in, how many pips in profit? 831 pips in profit. So I'm gonna close this trade right about now. It took us a while. Let's see. Date range, price range. $52 days, 4 hours. So it took me 54 days. That's around almost 2 months. So 2 months, 830 pips, worth it for me. And 0 drawdown. You can see that the entry was right about there. Just held it even at the retest. That was a trendline breakout and a retest right about there. Technical point of view, that's a good trade. You could sold it, boom, 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 just a continuation of a drop. Now I'm ready to exit this trade and close it out for my clients. Let's see really quick. Give me a second. All right. Okay. Okay, close that trade. Okay, Euro CAD. Close Euro CAD, 830 pips. All right, let me check something. Oh. Euro CAD. Somebody's drawing again, huh? Okay, so 1 second, guys. 1 second. I'm trying to figure this out. What's going on? Okay. All right, I think you guys can see it. All right, Euro CAD. So trade 840 there, 4-hour time frame. The trade was from here, a nice sell right about there, and that was 840 pips right about there. So that's a nice trade for us. No, this is, I can make a method. What the hell? Euro CAD. Let me fix that. All right, basically EuroCAD is basically ready to go up now. So as you can see, it's sold under, and now we're gonna be ready to buy this trade. So that's a good thing. We're gonna be closing one trade and opening another trade back left to right, pretty much. So 1 second, let me close this trade. All right, I think 840 pips. All right, done. So now right about here, there's a support. So, okay, so let's see. That's a 1-4 risk reward. Okay, so now the stop loss is quite high. So I'm not gonna risk that much, probably 2% risk. And take profit is 1,070 pips. So let me look at the daily candle and see how it rejects from it or not. All right, since it's a Euro CAD, Nice M, level 1, level 2, nice W formation right about there. There's a nice divergence right there. So, all right, I think EuroCAD is our trade. It's rejecting. So, on a smaller time frame, it's a nice trade. 5070. Okay, right about there. That's pretty much our nice trade coming from. Okay, give it a second, guys. 1 second. Okay, buy EuroCAD. Stop loss would be 1 point. All right, let me check one thing. Okay, stop loss is 2%. Take profit is 10.7%. Risk reward is 5 to 3%. Okay, so most likely the price might reject from the 78.6 or the 88.6. So we'll see how it plays out, but most likely 78.6 is where it looks reasonable because the divergence has to play out, and if, in order for the trade to be valid. So all we're gonna do is just wait and see. But most the trade itself is good. All right, but let me draw a trend line, and so you can watch the breakout happen. So right about there, there's a trend line that's basically supporting the bearish momentum. But once you can see, if you want to be a conservative trader, you can wait for the trend line to break out and then buy it, or you can buy it now. It doesn't really matter. But the price might go back down even lower here. So just to let you guys know, but I take risk like that. That's only 2% risk for me, so it's no big deal. We can enter back again with a better entry. So, okay. Stop loss is 1.61400. Okay, I think okay, 14. Okay, 487 614. All right, done. All right, next would be Euro AUD. Okay, Euro AUD, basically we entered right over there when the trend line breaked out, and then we waited and waited. The price dropped and then pushed back up all the way, but our stop loss was above the resistance. As you can see, that the price can go to the 88.6 or 78.6, but in this case, it only went to the 78.6 and then retraced it back. And we kind of knew that the price will continue to go down, but I just waited for the price to break the trend line and then move our stop loss at break even. Now the price is basically giving us a nice profit, but we'll see how it goes. But most likely what I'm expecting is the price might make a second level right about there. So it's all about patience and see how it really plays out. But most likely I'm expecting here or continuation to the support, but we'll see. We'll see. But right now we don't know what's going to happen. So we're just going to have to count the levels and go from there. All right. Right about there. Okay. Now Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD. So there's a W level 1, level 2, nice M formation, and then there was a breakout right about there. So let me mark it up. There's a level 1 consolidation. That was a support right about there. Okay, the price kind of basically took off on the downside, and then the price consolidated right about this level. So this consolidation is considered as a level 2 consolidation. So if my analysis is correct, based on the bigger time frame, I expect the price to continue to the support, but inside the bigger time frame, there's a smaller structure that you have to pay attention to, and that's basically the M formation right about there, level 1 consolidation, level 2 consolidation, and a nice W formation at the 78.6. You can see that. And then if you zoom in more, there's more smaller structures, W level 1, level 2, and an M formation, level 1, level 2, and a W is about to form up again. So most likely the price will continue to go back up. If not, the price will definitely continue to go to the support and then reject from there. But overall, at the harmonic, if you're looking at a harmonic pattern, it's a nice buy at the 78.6. But at the same time, on an MMM point of view, it's a buy too. So we have to wait and see if the price breaks below the 78.6 and it closes and continues to go down to the support, then I'll be probably going to be expecting a nice level 2 consolidation here and a nice W right about there, and then a push to the upside from the very support. So all we're going to do is wait, or you can enter the trade on a buy and then wait. So most likely what I'm going to do on this one, 1 second there. Right about there, and you can see that the resistance didn't broke through. So that's 78.6. That's basically confirms that basically we're on a first level of consolidation. Now what we're going to do is, that's basically a level 1 consolidation. What am I expecting is probably the price might go up to here and then reject from there, or the price might go up till here and then reject from there. But at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But on a smaller chart, you can see that there's a level 1, 2, W, M, level 1, level 2, and a nice W is about to form, drop below the support, break, give a nice resistance, and then pull back up. So most likely at the US session, you might see a nice reversal to the buy, but it's a complicated trade, just like the gold trade is complicated right now. It's not giving us a nice setup yet. So, but overall, as you can see, that the 78.6 was a nice retracement, and you can see that the price rejected from that 78.6. So most likely the price will continue to go up, and I'm just going to risk a small bit of it. So just to play around with it, probably a 1% risk, not going to hurt. So right about there and there, voila. Okay, so that's a 1 to 2 risk reward. I don't like that. Let's see. Stop. All right. So that's basically created a 1 to 5 risk reward. And you can see that the stop loss is only 1%, but the take profit is 5.8% take profit. So that's a good trade. So we'll be looking for a buy again, and then go from there. right, Euro USD is set. Okay, 172382. All right, on to the next trade, and that would be Euro GBP. Euro GBP, what are we looking at? We're looking at an M, level 1, level 2, nice W formation below the support, and then the price shifted up to the upside, created the level 1, created the level 2. What I'm expecting is a price to pull back up and then hit the 78 or the 88.6 and the reject back. So when the price does go back to here, then I'm going to look for a sell right now. It's dangerous to trade level 2s, so we don't trade that. So it's going to leave it all alone. All right, next would be Euro JPY. All right, Euro JPY on a bigger time frame, and what we see here is a nice V bottom, level 1, level 2 M formation with the divergence. As you can see, the price break below, create the level 1. Now it created basically a trend line and a breakout and a retest, and everything is playing out. Now what I expect the price to drop and continue to drop, and that's around 1500 pips, 1570 to be exact. So I'm just waiting around, just probably gonna take months for it to close, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it. Okay, next would be Euro NZD. All right, Euro NZD is basically playing hard to get, but at the same time, you can see it's pretty easy. You can see the W here, level 1 here, level 2 here, and nice M formation, but at the same time, level 1 is failing to break the resistance. And you can see that the price rejected, before it rejected from the 61.8, but now it's rejecting from the 78.6. At the same time, it was respecting the trend line right here. So, I mean, once that bullish finishes, then I'm expecting the price to just continue to drop, just sink in. But right now, it's having trouble to drop, but once you see the continuation, it's going to be a nice drop. So just gotta be patient. That's all. Okay, now let me check for me. If I check the Euro CHF, oh yeah, that one is bad. It's gone. Euro CAD. All right, Euro CAD is a buy. We did that. So I got 2 trades in. Next would be Euro JPY. All right, Euro JPY, we got that in too. Next would be, all right, CHF JPY. All right, CHF JPY hasn't given us any chart, nothing on the 4-hour time frame either. So most likely we're not gonna look for anything. This one is a failed, it's a failed pattern, so not gonna trade it. So next would be CAD JPY. All right. So as you can see, the price created the peak formation at the resistance and then tanked from there, and it created level 1, level 2, nice W right there. And then pretty much right over here at the trendline breakout, we pretty much ended up buying right about there. So after that, it was history. Price went up, break the resistance, consolidated. Now you can see a big engulfing candles right there, and it's going up to make the what? Make the what? It's going to make the level 2, my bad. And the price is about 485 pips in profit. CAD JPY. Let me show you guys. CAD. There. The entry is here. Stop loss is break even. You can see the trade pip, 1 pips, 487 pips in profit. And live. All right. So as you can see that the price basically gonna continue to go up. We just have a risk-free trade, and we're just gonna continue to hold until further notice. All right, next is CAD CHF. All right, CAD CHF is basically created a nice M, level 1, level 2, a nice W formation with a divergence. Then the price break the resistance, create the level 1, level 2. It created the M formation with the divergence at the 88.6. But what I'm expecting is the price should not break this high. So I'm just gonna keep a close eye on it and see how it rejects from it or not. But most likely, if this is an M formation, the price should not break this high. So we'll see how it really plays out. But most likely, what I'm predicting is the price will drop from that point. So all I gotta do is just wait and see when it breaks below. All right. Next is GBP CHF. All right, GBP CHF is the same scenario. M level 1, level 2, W level 1, level 2. Nice information right about there. You can see there's a level 1 after the trendline breakout, level 2. Now it's basically going for the level. It should break below this zone. So once it breaks below this zone, after it creates the W, then I'm gonna look for a buy and close the sell. But right now, I'm not in a rush to close it yet, but it's still a good trade. Around 140 pips in profit, so not a big deal, but it's good. All right, next would be GBP JPY. All right, now GBP JPY is a funny story behind it. As you can see, the price went up all the way, create the level 1, level 2, W, and the price just chop, chop, chop. But overall, this was a level 1, but when the price rejects from this point, comes back all the way to this point, then this becomes a whole level 1 scenario. So what we've seen here is the price basically create a nice support and resistance. So let me see 1 second. Let me draw the fib levels and see where it's. All right, basically there was no resistance or fib levels for the price to reject, but it just decided to reject from that point. And as you can see that the price continued to drop, but here I think there is a level 1, level 2, if I'm mistaken. Actually, there is. It was hard to see it last time when I did the analysis, but right now I can clearly see it. It's not that great of a consolidation, but kind of gives us a nice understanding. But at the same time, here is a nice M, you can call it. But then if you look at here, the level 1 consolidation, and then the level 2 consolidation. Now you can see the support. The support gave us the W formation. So what we're seeing is that this one is a level 1 consolidation. Right now the price is doing an engulfing, so that's basically going to create a level 2 and a nice level 1 right about there. So we'll see, but most likely the price might continue to go back up, but overall this is what I see on a smaller time frame. But if I drew a fib level from this point to this point, that's probably 78.6. Maybe not. Yep, maybe it's not. But overall, it used the support to reject from it, and then the prices continue to go back up. So we pretty much enter at the right time, and the price just shifted in our favor. And 177 pips in profit, so that's a good thing. GB, JPY. All right, then we got a harmonic bearish butterfly also. 163 pips in profit. Probably it might reject from that point. So maybe not, but we'll see. It's a 200 EMA, so we'll see how that plays out, but no big deal. All right. Next is GBP NZD. All right, GBP NZD is not playing that well, but overall on a bigger time frame, it's still respecting the 88.6. So that gives us a sign that the price is still waiting for it to do an impulse. And right now it's a bearish wedge on a technical point of view, and it's pretty much rejected from the 88.6 right about there. You can see that. So each time it goes 61.8, 78.6, 88.6. So we'll see how really it plays out. But overall, I kind of see that the price is kind of like a bearish wedge. So we'll see how it plays out. Okay. But once it shifts to this momentum, then it's going to be hard to catch. It's going to be just a boop, 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 boop. But it's a good take profit. It's 1,966 pips for take profit. So we're just going to have to wait and then wait and wait and wait. All right, next is GBP AUD. All right, GBP AUD. GBP AUD created the nice W right about there. And then level 1, level 2, nice M formation. Then the price just didn't collapse, but you can see that the price just took a furl, like took a month or so just to drop it. And then the price just shifted. Now it created the level 1. Now I'm just waiting for it to shift again, do a level 2, shift again, create the W, and then buy again. So right now, overall, we are in profit of 350 pips in profit. That's a good thing. So it's going to continue to hold, and then we'll see how much we can get out of it. All right. Next is GBP CAD. All right, GBP CAD on a daily time frame. W level 1, level 2, M formation. As you can see, technical point of view, you're probably going to be selling it right there, and you got stopped out. But since we waited and we understood what's going on, we draw a Fib extension, and you can see the ABCD pattern pretty much fanned out pretty much right about there at the 100% rejection. We pretty much sold it, and then voila, just boom, just the price just dropped. Right now it's at overall at 1,000 pips in profit. This is my biggest trade ever. 1,000 pips trade. Yeah, literally. I'm not kidding. GBP CAD. 973 pips. The sell is from here. You can see that. No BS. But it takes a while for you to have a patient. It took let's see. It was here, right about there. 1 week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is about to be 2 months. It's going to be about to be 2 months trade. So you got to have a lot of patience for these kind of holes. But at the end of the day, it's worth it. 1,000 pips in profit. 1,000 pips in profit. Yeah, that's crazy. But all right, guys. But there's more pairs that I'm going to go over. We're almost done, halfway done. So, all right, next would be GBP USD. All right, GBP USD, I'm just waiting for the price to go back up to this point, and then it touches it, then I'm going to sell, because as you can see, there's a nice trend line retest that is going to form right about there. And then at the same time, it's a bearish trend. It's already a good setup. I couldn't enter here. I just couldn't see it. And the next thing you know, it just shifted the momentum. So it kind of like messed up. But I was waiting for this trade to enter, but we missed it. And then it just tanked, like literally tanked from this. I mean, even though if I sold it right there, it just tanked 800 pips just like that. So I'm going to wait for it to go back up a little bit more. And then here, or maybe here, and then I'm going to sell it so I can get a better entry, and then put my stop above the resistance, put my take profit at the support, and then just ride the wave all the way to the Maryland. I'm just kidding. Okay, so GBP USD is not ready yet, so we're just going to jump on other pairs. Let's see, NZD JPY. All right, NZD JPY, on a smaller time frame, we have seen that the price dropped, but on a bigger time frame, let me go on a bigger time frame. So A top, level 1, level 2, V bottom, level 1, level 2, M formation at the 78.6, level 1, level 2. Now the W was formed at the support, but as you can see, there was only one reversal candlestick reversal pattern right there, and then the engulfing boom. So we kind of pretty much knew that the price will continue to go back up, and we just ended up buying. I don't know, I'm not sure where we bought it, but you can see that the price rejected from that point, went to the 61.8 and rejected from that point again. So I mean, on a smaller time frame and a bigger time frame, you have to do multiple time frame analysis. So as we've seen here, you can see that the price comes all the way down to the support, but still didn't break the support. Like, it didn't break it by the pip, because that's too much for the broker to come back and break the support and go back up. So it's going to release the orders if it goes below the support. Now they just trap in, and you can see that there's an engulfing right there. And then on a 4-hour time frame, if you zoom into that, now you can see that what's going on here. Right about there, W, level 1, level 2, nice M formation at the 61.8, and then voila, price just shifted, and you can see that there is a nice divergence right about there. And this is the W's first, basically the base, you can say that, the resistance zone for the W. You can see that W right there. All right, now what are we gonna do? We're just gonna wait for the price to shoot up, consolidate here, consolidate there, then M formation here or wherever. But overall, you can see that the price didn't break this low. And that basically gives us an idea that the price will still continue to go down, go up all the way, even past this, probably till here. Okay, but we'll see. We'll see. We just have to count the levels and then go from there. But overall, on a daily time frame, that's a nice engulfing, and basically it indicates that there's going to be a nice push up to the bull side. So let's see how it plays out. All right, next would be NZD CHF. All right, NZD CHF is a nice trade also, and you can see that we are already in it. M level 1, level 2, W level 1, level 2, nice M formation at the resistance, and there was a stop hunt right there above the resistance. That was probably a few pips, right about there. That's 30 pip stop hunt. That's 30 pip stop hunt, and the price rejected from there, and then boom, just went in a direction. And you can see that the price just shifted its momentum, create the low, and then pull back up again, then create another low. Now it's creating a second level of consolidation right about there. So I'm just gonna mark it up, and I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold for it to drop even more, and then I'm gonna go from there. So probably to the base and then rise, or maybe at the fib levels and then rise. So, but I'm gonna count the levels and go from there. All right. Next is NZD USD. Okay. NZD USD. Okay, so NZD USD. All right, NZD USD is like W level 1, level 2, M formation level 1, didn't break the high. Now it went all the way down to the 88.6. Now, so and at the same time, if you look into the smaller structure, probably a 1 hour time frame right about here, W level 1, level 2, and an M formation, M level 1, level 2, and a W formation. So by putting everything in perspective, what I see is that on a bigger time frame, the price is still on the level 2 consolidation, right about there. That's level 2 consolidation. Now, what do I expect? I expect the price, if I'm trading swing, I'm expecting the price to go here and then reject and then continue to do the downside. But since the price has given us a smaller structure, in the bigger structure, you can see that there's an M, level 1, level 2, and a W formation at the 88.6. That basically gives me an idea that what's going on is basically it's going to be a buy. So short term, it might be a buy all the way to here, but once it goes here, then I'm going to decide if the price will continue to go down or continue to go up. But right now, it's a nice buy, even though it doesn't really matter what, if it's, I mean, on both scenarios, it's the same thing. On a bigger time frame, it's still a buy, but rejection from here. But on a smaller time frame, the rejection is from here. So I'm gonna take the smaller time frame as my weapon, and I'm just gonna go with it. And then let's see how many pips I'm risking and all that. Yada yada yada. All right, so I'm gonna risk 1,000 pips, and that basically puts it at 1% risk, and then the take profit is 4,495 pips. Okay, let me make it 5. 495 pips. So 495 pips take profit, and then stop loss is 100 pips. No big deal. So, and plus 88.6. Yep. All right. So what we're gonna do is just buy, and we just wait. All right, 0.67950, 0.73900. All right, 6795, 73900. All right, done. All right, done with the NZD USD. Now it would be NZD CAD. Okay, NZD CAD. I expected the price to go back up, but it actually didn't. So that's the level 1 consolidation right there. Now it's creating the level 2. Actually, hold on a minute. There's a smaller structure also. There's an M. There's another level right about there. There's a consolidation. All this is a consolidation. This is a consolidation. That's level 2. Okay. Now we're seeing a nice W. So, and it was a harmonic pattern. Wow. Okay. Let's see what kind of fib levels it's hitting right now. That'll give us a nice understanding where we are in the cycle. Okay, so we're looking like we are at the 78.6 retracement. If you go on a smaller time frame, okay, NZD CAD. All right, it's hitting the ADR low, so that's basically giving us a nice buy signal. So, what the hell? NZD CAD. Oh, I think I didn't enter this trade. Wow. Wow. All right, never mind. But the members, I think, got it. All right, 1 second, guys, 1 second. There. All right, 565 pips in profit. So 566 is good. 0.65 pips. Okay, now I'm going to close this trade. Okay, now I'm going to go for a buy on this one long. I'm going to do 2% risk. And this one, that's going to be nice. All right, NZD CAD going in. All right, 0.86,000. Take profit would be 0.95065. Actually, I'm going to make it 7,000. So 9,500 is the take profit. Okay, NZD CAD going in. All right, 8695. 86 and 95 for the stop loss and take profit. All right, next would be USD CAD. All right, USD CAD, basically we've seen that there was an M, level 1, level 2, W, level 1, level 2, M formation, past the resistance, and then drop after the trendline breakout. Create the level 1 right about there, went back up all the way 78.6, then created a nice breakout and a nice sell. We pretty much sold it. Now we're going to just hold it all the way to the bottom at probably 550 pips take profit. And then the stop loss is at 200 pips. That's 2% risk. So that's a good trade. We'll see how it plays out. And then next is USD JPY. All right, now USD JPY is a very interesting trade. We pretty much entered M level 1, level 2 at the W. We entered right about there, but then the price decided to shift it to the downside and then went back up again a little bit lower, but it didn't hit our stop loss. But it still validated the divergence. So we're still holding this trade and we just held it through. And then the price is pretty much right now at 510 pips. So that's a good trade to be looking at, but we're even looking for even higher. So that's around 900 pips. So we'll see how it plays out. Level 1 is here, level 2 might be here, and an M formation right about there, and then we'll sell it again. So yeah, wherever it goes, we'll just count the level and then go from there. But USD JPY is a good trade. It's going to be a bullish, just continuation to the upside. Next is USD CHF. Now, USD CHF is interesting. We've seen in the past that the price created the W, level 1, level 2, and then the price just chopped. But over here, you can see that the price consolidated right about from this point to this point, and it's it's a divergence, but it's a hidden divergence, so you can't really see, but you can see the RSI, and then there's a no M's W. You can see there's like the divergence right about there, and plus the resistance. So I just give it a try and see where it goes, but it can be possible that the price might come back down all the way to the 200 EMA, then push back up all the way, break this resistance, do a stop hunt, and then reject back. But if the price does go back down, I'm gonna move my stop loss at break even and then see where it goes. But if not, no big deal. We'll enter here if the price does go back up again, but most likely not. So we'll see. But then here, the last pair is the gold. So we've been holding gold, I think from here, I'm not sure where, but we've been holding gold from here, and we pretty much closed it right about there because this was a strong support, and I didn't expect the price will break it, but we exited too early, but no big deal. The price went back up, but respected the 200 EMA and the rejected from there, but I could have took a chance, but I just didn't want it to. But then the price just shifted down to the downside, but I'm not in a rush to enter again. Since it's a level 2 consolidation, I'm just gonna wait it out and see how much it consolidates before it creates the W. If it does create the W, I'm just gonna enter on a buy again. But until then, there's nothing more that I can see with gold. So anytime soon. So most likely will be a consolidation or just the continuation to the downside. So, but overall, it's a good trade. But right now it's at the level 2, no trade zone on level 2. So keep that in mind. I think that's about it, guys. Pretty much I covered everything. So I'll see you guys on Swing Sundays. All right.